Pride is like a shadow. It follows you until you step into the light. Before she entered the university, Ada was the kind of girl who walked like the world belonged to her. She was beautiful and she knew it. In their small town, everyone knew her as the firstborn of 4. And you knew how firstborns can be. Headstrong, carrying themselves with pride, taking orders only from their parents. Ada never liked boys getting too close. To her, their greetings always had a hidden meaning, a trap waiting to be sprung. So when they called out, "Ada, fine girl, how you dey?" she didn't even lift her head. She just hissed softly and walked past like their voices were the buzzing of flies. One even tried to follow her home one afternoon, saying he just wanted to be her friend. "Abeg, shift," she snapped, her sharp tongue like a whip. His smile faded, and the other boys laughed at his shame. In Ada's mind, that was strength. That was how a girl protected herself in a world where boys thought a smile was an invitation. But each harsh word was a stone, each cold glance a brick, and slowly she was building a wall so high, even her own kindness could no longer climb out. Then came university. Chai, that was the day Ada's eyes truly opened. The campus was not the simple place she imagined. It was another world. A world where your worth seemed to shine from the label on your shoes and the logo on your bag. Girls moved as if the ground owed them respect. Their hair was always fresh. Some even changed it every week. iPhone this, iPhone that. You would see them snapping selfies, laughing without a care, their wrists glittering with fine bracelets. Ada stood there, her chest tightening. For the first time, she felt like a village girl lost in a city of stars. The same pride that once made her raise her chin now weighed it down. Her small Infinix phone suddenly felt like a stone in her hand. She wanted to belong. She wanted to shine again, not because she had changed, but because the world around her made her feel like she was fading. So, it began with one. Her name was Fumi. Loud, confident, the kind of girl who always had a new hairstyle every week and a pair of sunglasses sitting proudly on her head. Fumi was friendly, the type who greeted everyone with a smile that smelled of expensive lip gloss. At first, it was small talk. "Ada, you're always on your own now. Loosen up. This is university, not convent." They laughed, and Ada smiled, half embarrassed, half curious. From that day, Fumi made it her duty to pull Ada along. Soon, she was part of them. The kind of girls who always had money, who never repeated clothes, who always said, "Babe, life is for enjoyment." They moved in a pack, their perfumes leaving a trail, their laughter drawing attention. Ada began borrowing clothes, shoes today, a wig tomorrow. Clothes she couldn't return in peace because they weren't gifts, just loans that came with unspoken expectations. One night, as they sat in a lounge, they introduced her to him, an older man with a smile that spoke money and words that felt like silk. He leaned close and said, "A pretty girl like you, I know what you need, money. Don't worry, I will take care of that." As if that wasn't enough, Fumi added in her own way, "Don't be shy, just do your best to get what you want and please him." It began with dinners, just company, they said. Soon, gifts started coming, a new phone, money for hair, for clothes, for shoes. Ada told herself she was in control, but the truth? She was slowly selling her peace for luxury. One afternoon, her phone rang. She answered softly, "Hello?" thinking it was one of the many men now flooding her attention. But what she had next froze her blood. "Do you know the man you are seeing is a married man?" the voice said. "Stay away from my husband or else. I have your house address. I know everything I need to know about you. You won't like what will come after." Her hands began to shake. The phone nearly dropped from her fingers. Fear rushed through her body like cold water. For the first time, she felt the weight of the path she had chosen. From that day, nothing felt safe. Every knock on the door made her heart jump. Every message felt like a threat. Even the laughter of girls in the corridor sounded like whispers about her. Sleep became a stranger. She would lie awake, heart pounding, wondering which call would come next, which secret would leak. And then it happened. The gist scattered like harmattan fire. One moment it was just a whisper in one room. By evening, her name was on every lip, twisted, chewed, spat out. "You don't hear? Ada they do runs with one old man. I knew that girl no pure." They didn't even bother to lower their voices when she passed. The same girls who pushed her there, they washed their hands clean like Pilate. "We don't know what she was doing," they said. She was left alone, carrying a shame she could not explain, not even to her family back home. How do you tell your mother that the city you entered with dreams now carries your name like death? But Ada refused to stay broken. One morning, something in her heart shifted. Enough was enough. No more shortcuts. No more begging to belong. She gathered the gifts that once tied her down. The watch that felt heavy with shame. The bag that carried too many secrets. It wasn't much, but it was honest. It was hers. She started small, braiding hair in her tiny hostel room. One student came, then another. Soon her Saturdays were full. She began to rebuild her life. This time, it wasn't a man promising her the world. It was her own hard work speaking back to her. That simple message, "Can I book next week?" carried more peace than all the expensive gifts ever did. After some months, her small hustle grew into something bigger, a brand. Word spread across campus. Ada's hands are magic. Students came with their friends, and her name became known not for scandal, but for skill. She no longer chased shortcuts. She built her own path. And now, as she looks towards graduation, there is no fear in her heart, no running from shame, no begging for crumbs. She doesn't need to look for a job. She is creating one. Her plan? To open her own salon and one day employ other young women so they too can stand without bowing to empty promises. From the same hands that once wiped tears, now comes beauty, dignity, and a future she built with patience and pain, but also with courage. She learned that the cost of fitting in is always higher than the price of being yourself. Pride made her fall, fear shook her, but courage helped her rise again. To every young girl listening, don't wait for a threat to open your eyes. Shine your shine, but let it be your own.